Have you ever searched your Lego collection for a piece that you know you have in a specific color? It's a tragic feeling. I know I can certainly relate, but how would it feel if you were to open up your collection and every piece in that color had disappeared? I wanted to talk in this video about a very important color from Lego's history that might have an expiration date. And I don't mean it's fragile. I mean, you might open up your collection in 10 or 15 years and have none of these parts anymore. Here's the thing. In 2003, LEGO introduced an iconic set for the Bionicle line, specifically this set right here, which included a brand new color, flat dark gold. Technically, it showed up in the Borak prior in the year, but this is the iconic set that really features it. And one of the interesting things about this color is that it seems to degrade with time. Not degrade in the way that it becomes fragile. No, I mean, it literally disappears. I wanted to show you this image right here. These two Krata on first glance might appear to be very different, one being green and tan, one being flat dark gold and tan. But what if I were to tell you these were once the same color? And how do I know that? This is my picture. I took this picture about 10 or so years ago, as is evident on a crappier camera, and one of the notable things about this is I can vouch for the fact that that Krata used to be flat dark gold. That is from my Pawn Rock set from 2003. While I have definitely lost my Bionicle collection more than once, including having it stolen in the past, story for a different day, thankfully that did not include my original masks. The collection that I had of masks from 2001 through Bionicle's original run, Kana, Krata, etc. did stay in my possession. They went with me everywhere I went. So thankfully, yes, I did retain this Krata, but I did notice as I sifted through my collection over time that the gold in it was disappearing more and more. And really, at first glance, it didn't dawn on me that that's what was happening. Every time I saw it, it was just a slightly different color, but I wasn't registering this. I wasn't looking for it. However, I read a report online that a new misprint Krata had been found. Someone had dubbed it the Iruni Krata, and that's a cool name, right? But what's interesting about it is that that is not green and tan. It is transparent dark green and tan. It is different from what you would get out of a Krata canister. Yes, Mata green Krata exists with tan as a secondary color. We know this. But this is a special case here. Now, there are at least a few hundred of these that exist. I am not the first documented person to own one of these. Definitely will not be the last. And you may own one of these in the future if you have any Pawn Rock Krata. I've even seen these on eBay that people just didn't notice were anything special. They were just listing it as a Krata because why wouldn't you? What reference do you have, especially if you're not familiar with Bionicle sets? But one of the other things is I could also show a bit of other proof. This Krana right here, the name I've been using interchangeably with Krata for some silly reason, maybe for algorithmic boosting in the comments. No, I'm just forgetting. With that being said, though, this Krana right here, you'll notice that the little ears, horns, whatever you want to call them, have a little bit of transparent green there. Now, this is not my picture. Rather, this is a picture that was submitted to my parts variant form, which is in my Discord server. By the way, you can join that server for free. The parts variant form is an incredible resource for people who are mockists, who like to make their own creations with Bionicle or other things too, because it actually documents variations on official pieces. I have found Gresh sword pieces that exist in Mata green rather than dark green. I have seen the Takadox armor appear in multiple shades of blue, from trans light blue nearly clear to trans dark blue. Just the other day, someone posted a Karapar armor where the trans brown that's supposed to be there was replaced with trans clear. That's pretty cool too. And there's tons more. By the way, it's free to join. Link in the description for that. Join me, 700 other people, and have some fun. It's a lovely community. With that being said, though, enough advertising myself, I think this is a really lovely piece. And the crazy thing is, while this material and the Krata are made of a similar sort of rubbery material, this doesn't seem to just affect that material. Even polypropylene parts are subject to this. Now, I would have pulled another picture to showcase this. However, I don't think polypropylene parts are going to hold up super well because they do handle this degradation a bit differently. There are a few pictures that I have found online of people posting this sort of patina on their flat dark gold polypropylene parts. By the way, if you don't know what polypropylene is, it is the soft plastic that LEGO uses for things like Bionicle masks from 2003 onward, like armor, like weapons, etc. It is more forgiving to being bent, to being whacked, but it does scratch quite easily as well. And you will note too that if you were to take a piece made of ABS plastic in flat dark gold and polypropylene, they're actually different colors. Flat dark gold didn't see that many pieces in ABS, so I don't have that many examples to show you, but it did see a Mata head in 2005's Vizirac Battle Ram. So kind of interesting to get this piece, even if ultimately it's an entirely unique color to itself. Still quite a neat piece to have either way. With that being said though, I have seen these polypropylene parts with this patina on them, but it's usually the surface of them, and it looks terrible. It looks really, really bad. I have not yet seen an example of a polypropylene part that has just turned like trans dark green, like perfectly in the way that these rubbery Krata and Krana have. So those are the pieces that I would look out for if I was somebody who wanted these in my collection. Could you imagine a Krana in full trans dark green? Like how cool would that be for your Parok set, right? But of course, when it comes to other polypropylene pieces, other pieces like that, I don't have any in my collection that are showcasing this sort of transparent degradation. But I do know that this is something that happens with time. So how many pieces were affected? Honestly, it's hard to say. Is this a batch issue where maybe the metal flake or mica flake or whatever was used to give these this metallic sheen just degraded with time? Maybe it reacted with something in the mixture. I don't know. Or is this something that is a problem with the pigment itself, where the pigment is going to dissolve with time? What exposure is going to cause this? Is it going to be exposure to air or UV, or what is the cause? I couldn't say. I can only speak to the Krata that I had, which was in a pretty dark collection most of the time. The mask box that I have is a literal wooden box, so it was basically pitch black for most of its lifetime, most of its storage. So no UV degradation there, and from my experience, it seems to be oxygen that at least catalyzes this, or at least something else in the air. But honestly, I couldn't say for sure what, or what pieces for that matter. Will every flat dark gold piece just be destroyed with time? I don't know. But some will. And some of them will be destroyed in the coolest possible way. So if you wanted to take anything away from this video, what I would take away from it is look for some of these Krata. Go search on eBay or look on, Bricklink or something like that and see what you find. You might find something like this. And while this is, I guess you could consider it a misprint Krata, since we know more and more of these are going to pop up with time, this is one of the few misprint pieces that I think the price might actually drop with time. Although maybe, I don't know, since I'm spreading information about it in this video, there might be more demand. I don't imagine my channel has that kind of reach, but hey, who knows? With all that being said, it is sad to see an iconic color like this go, but it is a really cool color nonetheless, with a really interesting history. And if you're worried about your own flat dark gold pieces, honestly, don't be. These parts were produced in the millions, tens of millions probably. And also it's just worth noting that while these might have a time frame on them, an expiration date on them, there are people who are recreating these pieces. I know that Kinemox, for example, actually has several masks in flat dark gold, including masks that never appeared in that color, like the Metru Huna, for example, or the Mata Hao, or the, I was going to say Kirkan, but that does appear in gold, but other Kirkans in the movie edition, the 2008 Evoki. I'm not here to advertise them either, but hey, again, check them out. It's pretty cool. And of course, there are the lovely resin casters in the community. I feel like one of these days I have to get an interview with the resin caster on this channel, since I do resin casting myself. It is such a lovely thing to inspire other people to do. So let's not jump off topic anymore here. If you enjoyed the video, like I said, be sure to subscribe. It helps out the channel tremendously. And of course, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Have you found any pieces whose color has degraded with time? Is it flat dark gold, or is it something else? There are plenty of other colors that are subject to changes with time. Plenty of pieces that I have seen people display their sets in front of a window only to have those pieces yellow. I have a literal Kopaka leg piece from 2001 that's like nearly dark tan, just with how much UV damage it has seen. It's kind of wild. Hope to see you in the next one. Take care.